So today we're going to be using this factory here to build a solar system and then maybe eventually a galaxy. First thing we gotta do is get a conveyor belt in place so the little rocks that are right here can move on down the line into this assembler here, which is creating asteroids. And then they'll get sent off to space. And we need to launch 10 asteroids to get to the next step. Now this is pretty well automated, so we don't have to worry about it too much, but we could double our system as well. So this will create rocks, but we also need to buy a conveyor belt. So there's a shop over here we can do that for a single $1. This is the one time the yellow symbol is actually nice to us, but that can create even more asteroids. So we're sending off 2 at a time. Excellent. And once that's done, we can move on to unlocking planets, where we have to launch 15 of those. So let's just get rid of both of these for now because we need more than just asteroids now, but we can also look at our solar system so far, a whole lot of nothing. Although if we do zoom in, you can kind of see the asteroids orbiting the sun here. But now we have 2 production lines for asteroids, and the planet needs 1 asteroid and 2 rocks. So let's just go ahead and get a few more conveyor belts to move past this, and then to another assembler, which we also need to buy. We are running a bit short on funds, but we can get more of those in a little bit. But here, planets go in, and then we can move this guy out of the way to connect the conveyor belts like this, so they both go in. Now we're able to feed the planets. But we also need to send that off to space so we can do that, and there we go. We have 2 planets already, with more on the way because there's a bit of a supply stored up in there. And I think we're actually starting to see them too. Look at that. We can also work on getting a little bit of funds with this selling station here. So we just need to buy 1 more creator thing. And then if we set that up right here with the other production thing that we have, we can make rocks to make asteroids, and then we can sell the asteroids in a very self-contained system here. And also, the more things that we create, the faster the production goes. And look at that, we're already earning some money. So 1 asteroid is worth 3 monies. Very good. So we can let that work for a little bit, and then maybe when we're done with the planets, we can move on to selling the planets for at least a little bit of money back because we'll need to expand this factory. And we do certainly have a lot of rocks stored up. And there we sent enough planets, so now we can send water. Wow, really expanding things. And it's already looking like we have a few more planets going around, including some that are touching right there. Not sure how well that's gonna work out, but we do need to send water, and that comes from where exactly? Either way, we do need a few of the creator things here, so we'll get maybe 5 of these. And then let's see, that creates water on its own. Well, that's easy to send off, provided we can send it. Oh, it says sell waters. So that's easy to do, but maybe we'll buy a few more shop things and then get a few of these set up in a line. Which, how much is the water selling for even? It's selling for 2 a piece, it looks like. Oh, that's a very good money maker. Amazing. We sold 10 waters, and now we can make comets. Oh, yes. Let me guess, that's water and asteroids? Oh no, it's just water and stone. I prefer rock and stone, but that works too. And are we not able to sell the water anymore? Oh, we don't have water to sell. But thankfully, if we just click a couple of times, we can also enhance that. So we can change this system around actually, since we don't need the planets anymore. But we do keep sending them off, which is helping the stone production a great deal. But here, let's just remove you from the equation and then set this up to make asteroids. And then you need to be water. So maybe we just remove a few of those production things, or maybe only the selling things, so we can actually produce water at a reasonable pace. So there we go, 2 waters going at once and then 2 stones. And that's helping out the water production too. Excellent. And we do have a lot of money stored up, so we could expand the system or maybe create one to sell planets. I bet the planets sell for a lot. So we get 2 more rock things there and then a thingy to make asteroids. Hey, we got it. So is that what is that? Ice planet. I see, but we still need to make the planets and sell them. And then a planet sells for, ooh, quite a bit. That was like 7. So now ice planets, what do those take? Water and planet. Right as I start selling these things, of course. But here, we can mimic the thing that's happening over there to create the planet things, which also needs a stone input. And then instead of the comets, we make the ice planets. Although planets do take 2 stones, so maybe we should expand the system a little bit more. A very contained factory here. We haven't even looked at our solar system yet. Look at that. Whoa, hold on, don't look yet. Flashbang. There's the comets going around. Now our system has a little bit more color to it. Ooh, and some of them are going very fast. I bet this is gonna look super full once everything's done. But thankfully our water production is very healthy right now. Now let's just go ahead and buy a few more of these launching panels here, so we can set up more factories like this. Or after we find out what comes next after ice planets. One more ice planet to go, and away it goes. So now it's lava planets, and certainly more of them. But ooh, there go the ice planets. They're populating the system, which is a very wide system at that. So let's halt on that, and then just sell the ice planets. Ooh, I don't know why they're facing that way. Weird upside down dollar signs. But now we're selling ice planets for quite a bit. Now lava planets take, ooh, a new thing it looks like. We're generating lava, very cool. Okay, so we do already have a planet factory over here. Since we're selling the ice planets for 15, we just continue that. Ooh, big planet on the conveyor belt. It needs 3 lavas, wow. So let's just create a little hub over here of lava spawners so they can all go in there at once. And then the send off, oop, wrong send off. Not the money quite yet, but we should probably collect a whole lot of lava initially, just so the production doesn't run out. There, that's working beautifully. But we do need to send 30 of these, so I would like to duplicate the system. And sadly, we can't copy paste the factory here. We can copy the recipe though. Whoa, but look at that. The lava planets are spawning closer to the sun. That makes them a lot easier to see because I can actually zoom in and look at them. But I do like the way our system is right there. So do we need 2 separate things, or do we just make another planet thing to feed into there? I think that might be the better play here. So it all feeds into there, and then there, and then we do need a thingy here to make the planets. There's a whole lot of rocks going into there, so it's a good thing we're creating so many at once, and that's able to go off very seamlessly. Excellent. It is all going into the same lava planet factory, but if they have more materials, then they can make more at once. And just like that, we have enough lava planets. Amazing. Ooh, and now it looks like we're making a gas giant, and we have a new facility unlocked. Hold on, let's see the lava planets. Very nice, very clean. Icy comets right next to them. Because yes, the sun is hot, but the vacuum of space is way colder. It's like a gas production thing. So we can make helium, or hydrogen. Oh no, we make helium with hydrogen. Is that how that works? I'm not sure that's how that works. Whoa, hello. There's little planets and things around the outside of this place. I didn't even know we could zoom out that far or look at them. But let's go ahead and create our own gas production over here. And then we have enough lava planets, so let's just start selling those instead, because those probably sell for quite a bit. And I bet these gas things are expensive. Sure enough, they are expensive. 10 of these is 100, but we can also afford that, so let's just get them. As well as plenty more of these spawner things. All right, so hydrogen, which we can spawn. So that's good news. All those can go right down here to create helium. And then the helium is going to be used to create the gas giant. Oh, hydrogen and helium. So it's like the planets thing, but only for gas. Very cool. And this thing needs 2 hydrogen to make 1 helium. So we could actually limit this with just those 2 and then send the helium off to a workshop, and then this hydrogen at the top can feed right on over to the line down here, along with a secondary one, and now the gas giant can be sent off to the launch. Beautiful! Thankfully it all fits on the conveyor belt. Do we see any in the thing? Oh, we do! Way on the outside! And all the planets are conveniently the same size, so it doesn't take too much space, but we need to make 40 gas giants. Wow! We might need a second factory for that. Just got a whole line of hydrogen we need to set up. So now they all go together. We could limit the number of conveyor belts that we're using, but I think it looks way more satisfying to see things move on the conveyor belts like this. There's efficiency, but there's also aesthetic. And seeing things move on a conveyor belt tickles the brain worm very nicely. It's just a shame that we can't make enough hydrogen to keep up with this demand, but we can outpace the demand with our clicking speeds. Now we should probably copy this thing on the other side, because 40 gas giants is quite the demand. I just really wish I could copy paste this whole thing. So if we're making gas giants, what's gonna be the next thing that we make? But it looks like now our hydrogen production is way up now. So it is kind of keeping up with the demand? Unless we throw in 2 more of these things because we need them. Or maybe we don't anymore. We are about to have enough gas giants.
Wow.
Beautiful. Oh, and we completed the solar system, so we can go supernova and create a galaxy. Which, look at our solar system here. A whole bunch of colorful things, and we can populate it more if we spawn more things, but I really want to make a galaxy. So let's go supernova. Oh, there it goes. Wow, wow. Okay, and then all the space dust happens. And we have a black hole. There it is. Look at this beauty. That is very impressive to watch. Not quite the interstellar of a black hole, but like a, older way of looking at it. Which there's the interstellar interpretation of it, but then there's also that picture that we got that looked like a donut in space. So what's the truth there? But we do need to sell oxygen, and oxygen is hydrogen and... Wait, oxygen is just his own thing. How do we make oxygen? With carbon and helium. Huh? That's... I mean, I didn't take chemistry in high school, but I know that much. Oh, we also have like no money because everything resets. So yay! We need definitely one more of those things. So thankfully, oh, the prices just went up. What in the inflation is this? We can't even afford one of those. I guess we'll have to start selling some basic things first. Which, can we even make anything? We could make some magnesium. I bet that would sell for a bit. It's got a 12 on it, so is it gonna be worth 12? I know what that number is. I'm just being funny. But it was carbons, right? Yeah, carbons. So we can make those and then sell those for... Ooh, wow! Those are worth 60? Wow, that magnesium, that's all I need to sell. We might as well just save up and then make another system just for that. So this one can be all about selling magnesium. I was not ready for that to be worth so much. I love it. It's just a shame that selling things don't really enhance our production rate, but it's fine. Now we can make another gas converter here, and then we need 2 of these to feed into there. But we also need a lot more conveyor belts. So thankfully we can get 10 of those. Let's see, 10 oxygen. That is carbon and helium according to this universe. And I guess we're actually able to make helium straight up instead of needing to make it from hydrogen. Oh, but also our carbon production is in way more demand than supply. And the black hole here is just kind of chilling out. Hey, but we sold enough oxygen so we can create sulfur. Only 2 oxygen? Oh, that's easy. From oxygen, we create to sulfur, which we will need a second factory for this. So let's set that up over here. So now we have 2 of these systems going, provided we have the material to do so. Thankfully, only 10 of those, and those sell for, was that 100? That's 100! Wow, that is amazing. We don't need to sell this stuff anymore. Even though it helps, the 100 is going at a much quicker pace. Plus, it uses less carbon, which is the big shortage right now. And now we can make argon. There is a joke somewhere there, but I'm pretty sure the good ones are gone. You get it? You get it? Anyway, argon is made with sulfur and helium, so we might as well just expand this system that we have over here. So now helium can feed straight to the thing, where we can make argon and then still selling it. Not really creating anything to send off to the black hole. And our black hole is still just chilling out here. And there's also like is this like a red sun? Or just like a star thing? Are we gonna make stars pretty soon? I hope so. Now we're making calcium. Where are you gonna find bones in space? But this chemical plant needs argon and helium now. There's a lot more helium going into this. So no wonder we're out of that already. And we still have no means of increasing production. So even more helium goes out there. Let's make this a little more visually pleasing by having like a giant cell hub over here. So we can move things down the line and straight to there. So it looks like it's doing something. There we go. And there was quite a bit of material stored up while we were doing that. So we can actually create quite a bit of calcium back to back. Nice. How much is the calcium selling for? A lot. Big number. 140. And now we can make titanium. So then from there, titanium is supposedly made with calcium and helium. So we go ahead and do that, and then even more helium going in. But titanium, and then we just make this conveyor, or a lot more of these conveyors, go up to the thing. There we go. And then the titanium sells for 160. So it's a pretty steady pace of going up after it suddenly jumped from like 60 to 100. So we just kind of, making big monies. So now we can make chromium. I'm starting to wonder where the black hole plays into all this aside from just existing. But we just keep things going like this. And then chromium is titanium and even more helium, all without a single increase to production. I feel like I need to make like 1,000 helium in the backlog just to keep things running smoothly. But at least once we do, the chromium goes off very steadily, and that's 180 monies. But the chromium actually takes quite a while to produce too, once it has all materials. So it's a good thing we don't need to make very many. So now we actually make iron. I feel like that should have shown up way sooner than titanium. And I feel like I know how this is going, so we're just Oh, we're actually reaching the edge of the facility here. So this will have to turn around at some point. Why not start here? And we might as well just set up even more of these spawners going like this. At least the iron seems to be worth 200. So that's good at least. Oh, and we're entirely out of carbon. So that's gonna back up the production chain. Still absolutely no need for more hydrogen. I just want to make something to throw into the black hole here at some point, please. Like, I appreciate all the money being made, but when do we make a galaxy? Oh, new tile unlocked. Whoa, hold on. Is this a wormhole? What are these things? Launch. We're finally launching stars. Yes! 10 M-type stars. Okay, so this is starting to break away from my knowledge of things, but what in the world is all of that? And then what are these things? Whoa, hold up. Whoa, okay. So these are atoms, or these are alloys, or something chemistry, science related. But we also need to make some other things like sodium. Nah, but then sodium is... Oh, it's just straight up carbon. Okay, that helps actually. So maybe these things can instead just be carbon. And now we do need a... Do we need a production thing for all this? I don't think we do. We just need... Okay, so I think 2 things go in here and then they pump out as one connected thing. So this is the production factory. And then we're starting to see the use of hydrogen again. So this is actually a multi-step process. And we need calcium and iron separately. So I think we do need to duplicate everything we have over here. I guess it is a good thing that we've just been selling things nonstop. Okay, so we can keep this side just to be the iron production, and then we need calcium on the other side, which thankfully isn't as many pieces, but we do need to buy more pieces. So let's just get a whole bunch of creation things here. And then we need some more chemical factories, which we don't have enough money for anymore. But we did get 30 of those, and that should be enough. So let's just go ahead and duplicate this, which we don't sell iron anymore. Although we do need to sell something for money. We might need a 3rd factory just for money production. So that can go right next to the selling hub here, and then we can trade these in for 2 rocket things to go on the south side. So what's a good money-making thing? It is worth more the further down we go, but maybe we can sell for something like argon. Maybe we should see how much sodium sells for. So a sodium is 60. So definitely not something that's worth setting up a money factory for. We'll definitely need more than that. Let's see, which thing sold for 100? I think that might have been the argon, which we should probably duplicate this thing, but going the other way because we don't have room. At least since these type M's or 10M type stars take like everything, hopefully that enhances the production of all these base materials. But now we're able to sell argon for 120. I'm okay with that. But man, that helium is hard to keep up with. All right, then what were we doing over here? We have a lot of sodium and iron stored in. So we need to set up the calcium factory. And we also need to make these alloy things here. Or I guess alloy is metal. What is it in like chemistry terms? Molecule? I think so, because the atoms are like the base things, and then you combine 2 atoms and it's a molecule. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I haven't had to think about this since high school, leave me alone. But then we need to get this like fusion thing in there, and I guess we need 2 of those. So we should buy another one. And then I wish there was a way to send off the titanium easily, but I guess we do need to build a factory at that point. But let's start with the easier one first. Let's set up the magnesium and hydrogen, and then just get some other things in place to line up with the titanium and then the other things. And then magnesium and hydrogen can be set up down here, I think. Or actually, we do have a lot of things down here we're not using. Might as well just clean all this up and get those materials back. Magnesium and hydrogen can go here, and then the titanium and oxygen can go there. Or vice versa. But then magnesium is 2 carbons. So those go in and send the magnesium into there. And then do we need to stop it before it combines the 2? I guess we don't. That makes it easy. And then hydrogen, in all of its accumulation, can connect on this side and then get connected to the conveyor belt like so. So that should merge them and then send it off. Yes! We got one! And that actually makes them pretty quickly. But now we need to set up the titanium and oxygen, which is the lengthy part of the process. Thankfully though, we have an exact blueprint that we can copy over there. And by copy, I mean do everything manually. So the titanium down here also needs to connect to this. But we have an oxygen maker down there, and then we need, oops, not that. We need another one connected to the conveyor belt here to create a molecule with the titanium, which I have no idea what that would even look like. But now that should be all the systems in place, and then we connect it to the launch terminal. Whoops, not like that, goodness. And then how long does that take to make? I guess we'll find out. We need a lot of the helium and carbon here, but at least when we send off one of them, then we'll start to see a production increase. And that's gonna make things so much easier. And the helium just goes down super fast, and the carbon is going to as well. But we are sending off oxygen to the thing, so that's good. Now we just need, oh wait, we need helium in all these systems. Oh, goodness. But now we are able to fund that production line for the titanium. So once we get enough of those connected things in place and going to the SAR factory, then we can send them off to the black hole. And there they go. There's the first one. There's another one. How many do we need? Oh, but we also need calcium going there. I forgot about that. So we need a calcium factory as well. Oh my goodness. Maybe we can condense it in this little pocket here. Or just set it all up over there too. At least it's not as lengthy, but at least we can do that and then the calcium goes off to the assembly thing right up here. Or we connect it from the bottom because that looks nicer. I think we do that. And then we have to keep up with all the helium production demand. But that should be the last thing we need before we can start making more of the stars. Or like any of the stars. Oh, and totally forgot about the conveyor belt up here to connect the carbon thing. But we're making a star. Yes, there it goes. Off to the black hole. Oh, we finally launched one. And the production sure enough did go up. Oh, so we just need more of those. Yes, there it is, a little red dot. But there we go, there's another one. And I wish I could see how much the demand is, but it is certainly a lot. So we need like 10 per second to keep up with everything. But now we're finally able to send off 10M type stars. I don't even want to fathom trying to make 2 of these factories for this single star type. This is a lot of moving parts, but at least it all looks nice. I'm honestly a little surprised we're able to send off these stars so often, or so fast. It seems like the only thing that's holding it up is the titanium and oxygen production. Like, how would you even say that normally? Titanium oxide? That just sounds like rust. But I don't think titanium rust, does it? I hope not, I got titanium in my leg. But now we just need one more star. Ooh, I think the helium production might be able to keep up now. It's up to 2.3 per second. And this next one should get it to 2.5. Either way, we are definitely keeping this in line because that boost is helping us out a tremendous deal. But there goes the last star. So now we can make strontium? Strontiums? What in the world? That's a thing? I must have forgot that's a thing. But that's also a base component, so we can just sell that. But at least we have plenty more of these red stars around the black hole here, which it is a little weird to think about that there's so many things orbiting a black hole that's, I suppose, in the center of our galaxy. But I don't even know how much the strontium is selling for. It's probably like 20. But ooh, it gave us a new tile where we can make 10 K-type stars. K-types? Also, what are you? I have no idea what you are. You're probably another factory thing. Oh, whoa. Whoa, that is a lot of parts. So after letting it run for a bit, thankfully all of our systems are high enough production that our shortages are no longer really going to be a problem, except for the strontium probably. But for sure, this cannot go here if we need to send a giant star thing there. We probably need to loop this around. Actually, maybe it can send in from over here. And then we do have a lot of room on these sides, but mostly over here, so we can set it up over there. Oh, this is strontium plus actually. So does this thing make plus things? Let's see, if we get that there and then this strontium goes in and then, oh, and it just pluses it right away. Wow, that's convenient. So that can all ship off to the star thing to make type Ks. And it only takes one piece of it. Nice, that's gonna help production. But now for everything else, including entirely new alloy things. Oh, it also takes calcium plus, so we definitely need more than one of these. Good thing we bought a few. But does it take calcium plus plus normal calcium? Oh goodness. This is gonna be painful. We might need to split some of the factory over here, we'll see. Although since we don't need any more of the type M stars, maybe we could switch this around a little bit instead of building entirely new factories. So let's cancel you and then change you to this. There's plenty that feeds in, but the sodium is no longer needed. And it just takes normal hydrogen too. So that can just be right over here and then feed into it. And then the strontium as well, plus the calcium plus. Let's see, if we do one of these numbers, then we can't really split it, it seems like. Which means we need to make an entirely new calcium production line. And we can absolutely condense all of that down. And thankfully, we are doing like 10 per second for all of them. So this should be a pretty easy process. There we go. So now calcium plus, can we fit that in here? I wonder if we can, but I feel like we'd have better luck fitting it down here. And then from the calcium, it goes into whatever the plus thing is technically. And now we're sending off calcium plus. Very good. So now we just have Strontium Plus we need to do, which is thankfully the easiest part of this, and it can all be contained right over here. Plus we have quite a bit of Strontium stored up, so hopefully we don't need to worry about that production too much. But now we have other combined things that we need to do, which are actually pretty simple to make. So the first one is carbon and hydrogen. That's the easiest one. So we might as well just have that super condensed right here. So that's those being sent away. And then the other one was oxygen and carbon. And bada bing, bada boom, we have all the parts going into the star production here. Oh, good. And we have a lot of titanium and oxygen stored up too. We should be able to crank out quite a few of these stars. Oh, and it only takes 3 of them to make that. But it is such a long production cycle. You know what? I'm okay with it. This is a whole lot we have going on here. Look at the size of this factory. And there goes the first K-type star. So now we're also boosting the strontium production, which the other production should be getting boosted too, right? Only the helium. Interesting. Well, that's also the thing that is demanded of the most, so it works out. And we're starting to see those next to the Type M stars, so they're a little bit bigger. And if I remember right, the red ones are like super cool, and then they get more towards yellow as they get hotter, but then also blue ones are hotter than yellow ones. Are we gonna make blue stars at some point? Oh gosh, that's gonna need so many parts, isn't it? I'm hoping once everything is like in place, we just have to switch around a few things to create everything we need to make the other stars without really shifting too much, because I like having all these conveyor belts around so we can actually see the things move. Except for maybe the Strontium Plus. But we did it! Oh no, we got nitrogen? And it's not even something we can sell. What does that take to make? Okay, it's only carbon and hydrogen. Oh, I was starting to get worried there. Okay, so we sell all the nitrogens and we have Type G. This is like ours, right? But also, what do those demand? Okay, so we need the sodium again, and carbon and nitrogen compound, and calcium and calcium plus. We should be able to just switch around this factory and keep most things. Except for, I guess, the alloys that we're making, so we need to clean those up and then stop those production lines for a little bit. But we can clean up these compound makers here, and then we need the sodium back. So we need to adjust the iron production. Oh wait, we need iron too? Okay, you know what? We're not doing anything over here with the compounds. We can do things better with that. Do we need magnesium? We do. So we should probably keep that. Oh wait, sodium is something entirely different. It doesn't rely on iron. I forgot about that. So sodium is 2 carbons, but now we have sodium going. Okay, good. So now it's just the nitrogen connecting with the carbon, and the nitrogen was pretty simple if I remember right. So there away those go into the star. Yes, that was way faster because we have everything in place now. So that's very good news. Although apparently even 14 of these carbon hydrogen things are not enough. Or 15? How many do we need? 20 of each. Oh my goodness, we might need to double this. So let's just go ahead and double both of the compound makers. Even though we did send off one of them already, it still is gonna take so long to get the rest of these back. I'm just glad our production over here has gotten so well. But maybe we should expand the nitrogen production because I didn't realize how long it takes to make a single nitrogen. It takes like half the time to make a compound with it. So that would definitely need an improvement. And we can store up quite a few of them in there too. There we go, that helps it. I bet if we sold the stars, they would sell for a great deal of money, but we kind of need those. But there goes number 3. And we can actually see them. They are large. I always thought the red ones were bigger. Or maybe it doesn't matter too much on the size, just their density or whatever. And then with one of those, we get an increase to anything? I don't think we actually got an increase to anything. It's kind of funny, now the nitrogen production is outdoing the carbon production for this compound. There we go, that should help things. Now we're able to pump out the compounds constantly. Okay, so we get an increase to hydrogen production by a whole 1 unit. I'm okay with that. I do kind of worry how many more types of stars we need to make though. These things take up quite a bit of the recipe screen, but I could definitely see there being room for 3 more, and I don't like thinking about that. But also look at how many carbon nitrogen compounds we have stored up here since we fixed that production. That is amazing. We can actually make stars back to back if we wanted. Oh, but now the sodium is actually hurting. Interesting. How much sodium is needed? 15 of that. Well, thankfully there's room for 2 more carbon dispensers here. And we've also been calmly storing up 40,000 monies. So we are winning all around, creating a galaxy and making lots of money while we're at it. And we're starting to get quite a bit more color on the screen too, with the big yellow dots everywhere. But mostly the black hole in the middle is the interesting part. And there it is. Oh, we just get right to the next type of star. I'm okay with that. Do we launch a F-type to pay respects? But what do those need? I'm kind of worried. It takes chromium, and I don't think a previous star did that. Plus iron, and also carbon hydrogen. Okay, so we don't need this, and we don't need sodium either. We also don't need calcium plus, so that can be stopped. Or just, you know, convert to regular calcium. That should, whoop, whoa, hold on, we got a dancing calcium on the conveyor belt. But we need titanium plus, so that pluser thing can go there now. And then carbon and hydrogen compounds are still needed, but not these things. I don't think this thing needs nitrogen at all. So we should be able to convert these things to more of the carbon hydrogen compounds. So now we need chromium to send off. Oh, and also iron plus. Thankfully, it's only 10 of each of these types of stars. I can't even imagine trying to make more than that in a reasonable amount of time. Oh, and hydrogen goes in there. Simple enough. Although it does need quite a bit of hydrogen and strontium plus. So maybe we should boost those productions too. Well, we do have a condensed production line here too, so we can expand this. And then from the iron, we make iron plus. Okay, it is good that we have so many duplicated systems. Iron plus go there. And now we're making everything. So now it's just waiting for all the stars to be made. And since we need so much hydrogen and we're not making very much, we could honestly probably line a whole bunch of areas of this production belt with hydrogen dispensers. And it does take a long while to produce, but there it goes. And we get 2 of those, and that increased the strontium production, it looks like. And there it is. Yes, making a pretty interesting galaxy here. And there goes star number 10. Yes. Oh no, a new element. Silicon? I haven't even had time to appreciate these things orbiting the black hole here. But now that we have, so let's continue this. And it seems like that's a new thing we have to make in the chemistry labs, which is magnesium and helium. We're just gonna get right to it. But silicon also takes a long time to produce, my goodness. Might as well get 2 of those systems set up. And there, type A star. Can that be the last one? It's already at A, and that's the blue ones. Thankfully though, this also looks like it's the simplest one. Just a little bit of silicon plus, iron, calcium, magnesium, and hydrogen. And then calcium plus too. But here, let's stop all the production lines going to the assembler. Get that in place there, and then sort these out one at a time. So we need to bring the magnesium back. No more of these compounds are needed, thankfully. And then it does need calcium and normal iron, and also calcium plus. So this line here can be stripped down to just calcium, and then we can plus it to go on its way. And then the titanium up here is kind of wasted too. But I also don't want to really remove this in case we still need it for a future star that I kind of hope doesn't exist. But we don't need to sell that anymore. And we also need somewhere for normal magnesium to go. But the silicon plus can go in there, and then the magnesium can actually fit right here. Maybe we can fit in multiples of these. Whoa, we need 50 hydrogen? Wow! But also a lot of magnesium, so this is a good thing to do. Really glad our production is so high. I said that before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep repeating it. But now we have 2 magnesium things going into there, and actually we have plenty of hydrogen stored up. That's already accounting for half of the stars. I also love making all of this hydrogen at once. It's very pleasant. But there it goes, the first of the type A stars. And away it goes. I don't even know which one that did more of for probably the helium. Now, how big are those compared to everything? If we can find it. Ooh, there it is. It's the biggest one. Yeah, that tracks for blue stars, I'm pretty sure. Although surprisingly, the system that's taking the longest is a calcium plus, which I guess makes sense. It has to go through more machines to get to where it's going. But let's see, we have 2 more stars to make, and we have all the calcium we need for it. So we can set up this thing on this track and then get more calcium plus. But also this titanium isn't being used, so we can change that to be more calcium plus to get it done even quicker. And sure enough, all that calcium plus production sped this up tremendously. It's already making the last type A star, which, who named these things? We went from M to K to F to A, but there it is. Oh, great. And now we need B-type stars, so now we're just going backwards. At least that took long enough that I was able to eat my food, and now there's a whole bunch of spicy stuff in my throat. But this is starting to look a lot nicer to look at. Okay, we have a few more basic components, not really anything too crazy. So stop everything here. Or I guess stop everything here. And then let's see, silicon plus is good, but also regular silicon. We don't really need anything more advanced than sulfur, it looks like. Oh, that's a tremendous help. Back up all of these things. We don't need them. So let's just set up a big line of chemical plants here. So this whole line can be sulfur. And then we'll just back these up to make a separate line just for the hydrogen. And at the very top of this list, we can put that plus machine. So now we have a nice amount of chemical factories that we can use to make all the oxygen that we need. Although this is a little congested, so it's a little weird to do. But now we have an entire line of silicon production, all going at different paces. So there should be a constant flow of sulfur going into this, which becomes sulfur plus, and we need magnesium and magnesium plus. Oh boy. Plus oxygen all on its own. So on this side, we get one thing going, and then I guess we might need a little more room to get the other thing. More like this. This is what I was going for. And now we have oxygen production going up the whole way, which also goes into the plus machine. So that should catch up pretty quickly. But now we need all the regular stuff too, and helium. And then we can have just a giant wall of helium production here. Sure. Although looking at this, we just need 25 each. So if we had 250 oxygen plus, so we have enough of the sulfur plus, we could turn off that. And then when we have enough oxygen plus, we can turn off that. And then the silicon plus is 30 apiece. Oh, I also totally forgot about the magnesium plus that we needed. So regular magnesium, we need 30 of. Okay, so we're good there. So all we gotta do is move these 3 things around to get all of them going through the thing. Easy switch. So now we have enough oxygen plus and sulfur plus. So all that needs to happen is we remove this and then replace it with a normal conveyor belt. Or wait, sulfur normal isn't needed. Oh, let's just delete all those. And then get the normal oxygen line going to there. There we go. All freed up again. So that oxygen should boost by quite a bit. And then we're just a few silicon short to having all the silicon plus that we need. So now we have enough. Now we can remove this. Oh wait, we still need magnesium plus, don't we? Oh no.
No, God,
no,
please,
I didn't mean to do that.
No!
I didn't mean to do that.
No!
Oh no!
No!
We just won't talk about that. Okay, not quite the amount that I was hoping that we had in this, but at least now we're starting to make the B stars and send them off. Oh, goodness. Note to self, keep track of when you're in delete mode. But we do have almost all the numbers for 10 apiece. Just need a little bit more normal magnesium and plus magnesium. So really it's just cramming in magnesium generators whenever we can. But then we can switch everything over to silicon. And switching things over from magnesium to silicon should be a pretty straightforward process. But the amount that we need is slowly going down the more stars we're actually launching. And the big blue ones are showing up more, but we'll see them clear once there's more of them. So now we should have enough magnesium plus, which I'm not too sure how much we can do here. Maybe we'll just make this one the normal one because we do need more normals of each. And then the silicon stuff we can work on down here. Just needs a little bit of helium too. So now we're getting more silicon plus sent away. Okay, so now with 4 stars left to go, we should have enough silicon to finish this. So now we can put in back that plus machine, the plusinator. After we put the plus on everything, it'll help us take over the tri-state area or something like that. Hey, it's not much better than his other ideas. Or it's not much worse than his other ideas, that's what I should be saying. Okay, the last B-star is being made. Please be the last one. I don't know how much more I can manipulate this factory to make something new. I have to make something new! What even are you? Stop everything, what is this? Oh, this is actually super simple. It just takes a lot of bits. We can keep the silicon plus up, but the sulfur plus doesn't need to happen. And then the only thing that isn't plus is the helium, but we also need the plus. But that also means we can bring back that entire line of hydrogen over here, or basically switch everything over to be helium and then put that all through the plusinator. My goodness, there's so many of them. This plusinator is actually starting to get clogged, even though it's instant. And these are the type O stars. What, are we gonna donate these ones? But now we also need nitrogen plus. So let's forego this line of carbon because there's plenty there. And nitrogen is made with carbon and hydrogen, so that's really easy to do. And we can also make so many of those. But it looks like we also need plenty more dispensers. So just dump a whole lot of money in that direction. I'm really glad the stars are getting easier, I will say that much. And still only need 10 of them. And thankfully the nitrogen only takes 5 seconds to do. So now those can get plusinated. And we do have a whole lot of these things right now. But this thing also requires a lot. So we need 500 of this, 500 of this, 750 of this, 500 of this, and 1,000 hydrogen plus. Better idea. Just a whole line of hydrogen makers. I mean, we bought all these things. Might as well use them. Look at all that hydrogen going at once. This poor little plusinator. putting on miles. I'm honestly amazed this little game can handle all this going at once. Actually, it looks like it's barely keeping up. Some of the things are stopping right here. There isn't room on the conveyor for them, but that is still not hurting our overall amount of hydrogen. And we're making the stars. Yes. Ooh, and those I think are the most vibrant ones. Or that's just because they're also the biggest ones. But also I do think the game's frame rate is lagging a little bit. Wow, we finally did it. We broke the tiny little factory game. Amazed it could keep up with everything so far. At the very least, when we get enough hydrogen, we can dial back on all of these generators. Even the helium is lagging like crazy. I really hope this game lasts long enough that it can, you know, craft everything that we need. But we are definitely pushing it to its limits. Okay, so we do have enough helium, so we could dial that back. That should ease up on some of the elements on the screen. It is just insane that we were able to do that. There is such a delay with the inputs. It is actually scary. Am I just taking all the broken helium and turning it into broken hydrogen? Yes. Yes, I am, because by golly, we need a lot of that. Pay no attention to the broken game. We are making stars here. The frame rate has tanked so badly. I love it. Although I am curious what would happen if we just simultaneously cleared all the conveyor belts, because there is a hotkey for that. This is the cost of making a star, I guess. But now let's see this hotkey for clearing the conveyor belts. And we hit it. Whoa, hey, and that speeds it up for a little bit. We just lose all those materials. But we'll see how quickly it takes to lag this thing too. But at least now we only need 800 hydrogen to complete this. So once we're done with that, we can get rid of all these spawners. And there it is. Okay, time to bring back the performance. All the rest of it can go in there, and then we can set up a whole bunch of nitrogen things on here. So this effectively doubles our nitrogen production, as even more stars get sent off this time. But now that's Silicon Plus. Don't need any of those things. At least hopefully, since the nitrogen takes a bit of time to make, it shouldn't lag things as bad. Can't believe we brought it to that point. That was amazing. So we extend our silicon production a little bit more over here. And since it only takes 50 of those to make a star, then we should be well on our way. Although I'm really scared about what comes next because there is enough room over here for another recipe to go in. I just hope it's something even simpler than this. Like, I would take like 2,000 hydrogen plus. I would do that. Although we are starting to see a bit of the lag come back too. Oh my gosh, and you wonder why. This nitrogen line is real busy. But that should be all the nitrogen that we need, so we can probably stop that nonsense. There's not really an easy way to turn this over to silicon, but we can, at the very least, delete all of these conveyor belts, and then let those systems just sit there. We might need them later, but all we're waiting on now is silicon. Plus, just please, I beg of you, no more stars. I've had my fill of stars for today, or for the next, like, week, for the rest of the year, which is a joke if you didn't catch it. But there's the last star. Whoa, yes! Yes! We did it! We completed the galaxy! Oh, and it is a beautiful galaxy indeed. Like a bunch of lights for a holiday that already happened. At least it looks nice to look at, but we can complete everything with a pretty successful factory, I must say. Along with the, you know, broken pieces that we left to the side. That's how it goes. But we did it. The end. Oh. Oh. So now they all get sucked into the black hole. Yes. And do we get a boom? Aw, no boom? Oh well. But that was Planet Factory. Really glad the stars got easier towards the end, but I think we have a pretty successful factory there. So I certainly hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you'd like to see more games like this, then be sure to let me know. Thank you for watching, and sub to Intern. I'd also like to thank the channel members, including Bread, Corby Farm, Dakota, Donamoto, DeviantX, Ancient Elixir, Matthew, Hateful Harold, Peggy Sue, Drupalong, Lily, The Maya Within, DeGarity, Sans, Isaac, V, Killer Squad, Mousy Mouse, and Nicholas.